welcome the viewers out there. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, one second. One second.
Oh, and also on the call, who's?
Okay, now we're
Mello is on the call.
Hey, Mr. Secretary, can you please do roll call?
Yes. Frank Montes,
Present.
Bob Gutierrez, here. Roberto Cortez, here. Raul Hernandez, here. Dennis King, here. Steven Martinez. Juanita Ruiz.
Present.
Albert Clark. Calling in. Richard McBride. Ken Macias.
I was supposed to call in.
Okay. Julio Baeza is absent. Excuse.
Did Julio Baisa on?
Yes, there was his excuse as well as Friday. Albert will be calling in, and Leo and David are also excused.
Dr. Castro.
I'm here.
Jose Plasencia. Brena Garcia.
Here.
Julius Argumento. María Orena.
Presente.
Gabriela Melo.
I'm here.
Verónica.
Here.
Staff. Juan Garcia.
Right here.
Laura Cabanero.
Here.
Alex Ayala.
here.
Okay. Just want to remind, everybody something that our parliamentarian always tells us is when we speak, we stand up and we speak only when recognized by the chair. So that gives us a smooth meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We also have guests that you can provide.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
My name is Jesus Pascal from Plaza Jewelers and Plaza Garibaldi Restaurant in San Jose, California.
Good morning, my name is Connie Alvarez and also I'm from Plaza Jewelers and Plaza Garibaldi in San Jose, California.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Oh.
And I'm Leslie Jimenez, personal assistant of the chairman of the County Furniture.
So technically, I'm a guest. I'm a foundation board member, James Durant.
Hard to think of you as a guest.
Brenda Pedrano from the foundation.
Do we have anybody on the phone?
Any guests on the phone?
Just Gabby Miller.
Gabby Mel just got
Everybody had an opportunity to review the agenda.
Yes.
I'm entertaining a motion to approve.
I need to make an adjustment.
Yes.
I did an oversight, and there is an item that is called discussion of on staff closed session. That's another side of my part, so it's not,
We're gonna have that.
We're gonna have that.
oh, we're gonna have that.
Is that on the agenda?
It is on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, if I may recommend moving the staff report of the position of staff closed session and the finance report. So we can do all of that business publicly before we go into closed session.
There was also a request, as you know, from Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of the holiday to go over the ADA issue.
And
That could be either new or old business. Discussing previous movements of technical old business. The request is to be as an action item.
Is that a motion?
Nobody's moved to approve the agenda, so I would move to approve the agenda with that to be added
can you guys please speak up a little bit, because we can't hear you. Thank you.
Ken Macias.
I move to approve the agenda with the additional items under old business. Third item being Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Silicon Valley and local.
And that includes the edits that Bob suggested earlier in the agenda?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you get the, would you repeat that?
To move the staff report above, discussion of staff closed session of the finance report.
Second. Seconded by Raul Hernandez. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, now the approval of the minutes. Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes? Entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Second? Second? Second. Sorry. Usually louder. Call for the question, all, discussion, sorry. Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. And we're on to the chairman's report. The chairman's report, I sent this over a couple of days ago. Did everybody have the opportunity to review it?
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions regarding the report? That's an easy one then. Well, I just want to share with everyone that on the report, most of these meetings were to discuss the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce and where we're moving, and the meetings have gone well. A lot of new sponsors, a lot of old sponsors are seeing the changes, and we're moving in the right direction. So I'm trying to see here if there's anything that sticks out that I wanted to talk about. I probably want to discuss a little bit, you know, it's probably not the right time, but on the CUDC meeting that I attended in Anaheim last week. I don't know if you guys would hear, but I did raise some concerns on the side of the utilities not doing enough on bringing their buyers to our matchmaking. They did say that the chambers weren't doing. Yes.
Can we ask them to mute their phones, please?
Yes. Can you, on the call, can you mute your phone, please?
I was on mute.
It's Ken.
Ken? Sorry, guys. Ken, are you there?
Yes.
Can you mute your phone, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
I did raise some concerns that I had as the practice we have the matchmaking where they don't have the buyers there. The conversation came about that the chambers weren't preparing their members to be ready. And I spoke out and I said, I don't agree with that. The way I see it is that our members that were prepared would go to these meetings and the buyers weren't there. And our members that were prepared got tired of attending these matchmakings because nothing would happen. I said, and I can speak from experience because my company's prepared and the buyers were never there. So I just want to share that with this group to advise them of that, because I did say that all the utilities are on the table, and even the utilities were on the phone, are to blame, not the chambers. So if anybody has any questions regarding that, and Mr. Macias was on the phone also, With that, Mr. Macias, anything to add? Yes.
I just want to add once to your point.
Yeah.
I'm one of those.
Give me a second, Mr. Macias, 1 second, go ahead.
I'm one of those companies who are prepared but never really got anything, and I got tired of just talking to third, fourth tier people who had no decision power. So I just gave up on them.
Yes. Mr. Macias?
Yes, when I was on the phone, Frank and I were collaborating through Texas, and Frank represented us well, and politely and professionally mentioned to them that we have a number of different Hispanic businesses that are poised and ready to do work for the utilities, but it's still difficult to get contracts, and that we are ready to do these contracts. We did emphasize, on top of what Frank said, that generally they bring people to these conferences that are administrators. They aren't necessarily the buyers at each of these utilities. And so there's several steps for us businesses to get a contract. So that was emphasized, and I don't know if they're going to improve that, but we hope that they do. And so I think the main point was we wanted to make sure that they know that we're ready, and we're ready to refer quality, work-ready vendors from the Hispanic business community.
Thank you. So I just wanted to make everyone aware, because I was pulled aside from some of the utilities, and they did remind, they know that we're concerned, that I'm concerned, and they reminded of the other utilities that just because you give us a $20,000 check doesn't mean that I'm going to stay quiet. Yes.
Mr. Chair, our local chamber is very involved in procurement, and our experience is backing up exactly what you and Ken Macias is saying, and that most of our practical contractors, practical business people, don't need to go to meetings to give them lectures about how to do business. What they want to know are what are the real projects, and the real value is the matching of real projects, real opportunities with real businesses. Not, isn't it nice to do business with ABC Utility, but what are the real projects that they can speak to, that they can get specific information, and that's the matchmaking that's required.
And I also brought up the primes, that the contracts that are given to the primes, we never get a piece of the action, because they're not, they have no say on what the primes do. And I said that that's not fair, and they need to change that practice. So that happened there. I do want to touch also on the on PepsiCo. Yes.
Before you move on that, I just want to make 2 points. Number one is that I want to say that I spent over $10,000 in my business after I was shortlisted by PG&E to get business. That never happened. So minor point. The second one is related to the CUBC, the CPUC. I just wanted to point out that we have one female Latina who is on the CPUC commissioner, Catherine Sandoval, and I know that many of them have been under pressure recently. So I want to ask the question, have we put together a letter of support or endorsement on her behalf? Sent that to the governor's office. Have we done anything along those lines?
No.
Or we're planning to, or thinking about that?
We can't. This is the first.
So it might be appropriate to consider, because she is, as I said, the first Latina on this primarily all white, not all white, now there's actually a black female too, but it has been very white male dominated, old white guys.
Well, and
And to James's point, she also happens to be the swing vote on the commission, so, Commissioner Sandoval has spoken many times in the San Joaquin region. I think that that's an excellent idea. I also would just make a suggestion, you know, there are some groups that have managed to do procurement well, outside of the, I guess, the public utilities and public agencies. Builders exchanges have done a very good job of bringing together their members with buyers and project managers to allow for opportunities. It may be worthwhile to have a discussion with some of the local stronger builders exchanges in the state and find out what they do and how they leverage those relationships to make it effective for their members, because they are doing it right. So we may want to look to them for some support.
Mr. Cortez?
One thing, at least with my experience with PG&E, since I live in the northern region, in terms of construction contractors, they're doing very well in terms of hiring local or Hispanic contractors. My point has always been, what about the professional? What about the accountants, lawyers, engineers? We're not there. We're less than 1% in their procurement. So.
And I know that I was at a en banc hearing last year that was brought up about lack of Hispanic engineers giving a lot of these contracts. So this is the reason why I'm going to miss the first part. Yes.
No, please finish. I'll just,
Okay.
when you.
This is the reason why I'm going to miss the first part, the day of the convention, because I will be at the CBDC meeting representing this organization and letting them know that that is unacceptable. That as an organization that represents the Latino community and Latino businesses, that we need to be heard. We need some of these contracts, and that we're tired of the smoke and mirrors. I did say that at that meeting, that everything they've done to me is smoke and mirrors, because I've wasted a lot of my time, own time, my company's time, going to these things, and we don't do it anymore. And that's what most of our members are doing. They're not even showing up anymore. So
Mr. Chair, when I get a chance, I like the floor.
Yes, and I just didn't want this organization being blamed for that. And that's why I stepped up and I spoke out. Thank you. Dr. Castro?
You know, I just wanted to make a comment. It was really interesting to me to have the Congresswoman make a statement of that we are still being considered for pencils. And I thought, does she not know the expertise that we do have? I mean, so to me right there, I don't even know that she knows the expertise that we do have, you know, as a whole. So that I thought, whoa, wait a minute. I think she needs to be informed that we do have expertise, not just that we are known as pencil providers. So maybe that's where we need to start creating that awareness and that education within the leaders. Here's a list of expertise. So.
Mr. Grant.
And she also needs to be told that most of us can't afford to establish a prime contractor business that makes guided missiles.
Exactly.
That's not
Thank
gonna
you.
happen.
Exactly.
Mr. Macias?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to 2 points that have been made. I agree with James Duran in that we need to do some follow-up support letters for Commissioner Sandoval, but I do want to remind the chamber back when she got on to the commission, this chamber did support her and sent many letters of support along with many other of the local Hispanic chambers. So I do want to remind the board that we've done that, and it's time for us to continue to do that. Just because she's in place, we should continue to support whatever efforts and initiatives that she creates. So I think that's a good idea, James. Secondly, in regards to our chairman's statements at this meeting, they were right on. Yes, the CUDC and along with the PUC, it's all a lot of lip service. Yes, there is GO 156. Yes, there has been money spent in the areas, but I think as Roberto said, or one of the other board members said, it's a lot of it isn't being done with the professionals and in the consulting area. We've had symposiums specifically for consultants, and that has helped improve, but still they cannot break away from the good old boy network. And so they tend to still hire people that they feel very comfortable that these crimes are big and they don't have to worry about it. Well, there's many of our businesses in engineering, law, and accounting that can take on a lot of these projects, but still it's tough to get past the good old boy network. The word is called unbundling from the prime. And I think that's an area where we need to show that we mean business now, that we don't want to take lip service. So I like and support the momentum that our chairman has started at this last meeting. Those are my points.
Brendan?
Okay, just one last thing. I know we've spent a lot of time talking about the CUDC, and I don't have a lot of experience under that particular committee, but I did serve at the state level on the Caltrans Statewide Small Business Council representing the San Joaquin region. And I can tell you that I noticed a very different aspect just from the feedback that you're sharing with me on CUDC. Caltrans has changed, I would say, significantly, especially in the last 3 years. I specifically sat on a professional services committee. I had a direct impact with our members receiving contracts from Caltrans Primes and from subcontracts through joint ventures. I think that they've really taken their work seriously in unbundling contracts and offering opportunities. But I will say this, you have to stay very, very engaged with that committee. And I don't know, at one point, the California Hispanic Chamber had a chair on that committee, and I don't know if it's being filled right now, but I would say, please don't lose that opportunity, and whoever holds that seat needs to be very, very engaged, because you can make a difference with that Caltrans Small Business Council. I saw it and I was part of it. So I hope that we can keep that moving.
No, definitely. And the Caltrans has been moving forward, but one thing that I want to remind everyone, the Caltrans has a pattern of lowest bidder.
That's only for construction, not professional services.
On the small businesses. I myself would have to compete with businesses that were charging $20-something an hour when my tech makes 28. And I would say they would talk about the underground economy, and I would say the state is mostly responsible for that underground economy, because the rates that they pay forces our small businesses to go underground. So we have to change that. We definitely have to be the voice for small business. And I have no problem raising those issues, because like I said, I've gone through myself. And my kids remind me, my sons remind me, that's just a waste of time. Dad, I'd rather stay here at the shop and work. I'm not gonna waste time. And that really hurts me, bothers me, because that just says that we need to do a better job as an organization. That's it. Any questions? Do we have any questions from the live feed? Nope. Okay. Thank you. And we'll move to staff report.
Sorry. I presented that the fundraising report that I normally send to you guys on the regular basis. It has been updated as of Wednesday. I wouldn't go on to talk about the work that we do at the office. I think that a lot of you guys have been engaged during the last few months, and have been really, I think I've gotten more emails and more calls from Bernadette than I ever thought I would.
No, take that back.
No, like, I gave her my cell phone. I wasn't ready then the first day. I'm kidding. Hello, Mr. Martinez. And the only report that I would say that both Alex and Nora really appreciate your support on the different elements and committees that you serve. We currently have 2 interns, one with the California Latino Capital Association and another one with PG&E. They will be concluding their internship at the end of this month. And unless you have any specific questions, I will share my calendar with you so you know what I'm doing. But a lot of those meetings I have with you. So do you have any questions?
Thank you for what you do.
I have a comment. I just want to say that the staff, Laura, Alex, Juan, great job. And I can tell you that they are working diligently, because I remember last week, my phone kept on buzzing. I'm like, what the heck? And it's Juan sending emails till midnight. So he put me to work. And Juan, I can't say enough. I can't say enough what you're doing for this organization, the face of the organization, the vision, just the love you have for the organization and its members. It's wonderful. Like I've always said, it's a team. It's a team. I can't do what I do without everyone here, without Juan. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing, and we got to keep the momentum with Juan. Thank you.
Thank you, and I appreciate that, and I think it really comes from within the board and the core of what we're doing. I think that I wouldn't be able to do the things that we try to push through our office without your support and without your encouragement. I think that when you are requested to step in, you do step in, and you do step up. Again, there's a lot of work. I know there's a lot of emails that I still need to go back and reply to, a lot of phone calls that I need to make. My meetings sometimes are back to back. Mr. Martina has been he steps in to stop by the office every now and then, so he sees how we do. A lot of questions, a lot of people may have questions, how come you guys are running without a CEO? But we are all a team, and we all pull our packets of a lot of work that we need to do. Yes, there are times that I'm there until really late, and believe it or not, and sometimes you might receive emails from me on Saturdays. It's because I actually work better on Saturdays when I'm not being bothered by the phone. Oh, Bernadette. I just laughed. But I will also take some time to, if there's anything or questions or comments from Laura and Alex, if you guys want to voice them. Again, I think that we all have a really open line of communication. I'm not afraid to tell Frank that he screwed up in a meeting. Oh, yeah. But again, it's with that candid, with that candid fashion that we both respect each other and we both support the work that we do. So, anything from you guys?
No? Good work. Keep it
You know,
up.
we actually get along. We actually get along really well at the office. When we screw up, we just look at each other.
Oh, Laura.
We just give that look like, nah, I know I didn't do it. And then Juan's thing is, I'm in Laura mode, because Laura forgets a lot of things. You may hear that a lot. Alex has been a blessing. Juan is wonderful. You know, we couldn't do this without Juan.
I think it's,
He's so smart.
and so good looking too, right?
I told him he couldn't have common sense and be smart at the same time. So he's missing a little bit of common sense.
No, and the other thing is that even from within the team, way more relaxed, and our sponsors have also noticed that too. There is a difference between I want your money to I want to build that relationship with you and your organization. We have been, I hate boring, and I like to really put my brain to work. So any new initiatives, any new things that can make us really become relevant and really deliver on the mission of the organization. Any opportunities that you guys may see, let's just work together and make it happen. That's what I'd say.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Macias.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a couple of, since we're on this sponsorship schedule, it's close to last year. I know we've got work to do. I just want to ask Juan, I have 2 points, and the first point is a question for Juan. I just want to ask Juan, do we have a schedule that tells us when this $1,500 is scheduled to come in? Or is it, I know we've got some of it, but I know most of it's out. Do we have any idea when that's scheduled to come in?
All right.
Mr. Macias, can we do this on the Finance Committee?
Yeah, we could wait till the finance report. That's fine with me. My second point, if I may, it was mentioned early on in this discussion about the fact that we've been asked by several folks on why we don't have a president CEO. We have obviously great staff, and I think we need to, just like family, whenever a family has something going on within the family, hopefully they have a consistent message to the outside. And I say that the consistent message should say something like, we have great staff, we have someone who's a deputy executive director who's doing a good job, plus we're rebuilding and we want to be fiscally responsible. I think with those 3 thoughts, we have great staff, we have a deputy executive director who's doing a great job, we're rebuilding, and we want to be fiscally responsible. I think those 3 elements in the message, if we're consistent with that amongst the board, then that will go a long way. With different messages out there, sometimes it doesn't help in our recovery, in our brand. That's my input there.
Thank you, Mr. Macias, and I agree with that, but I think more than just the message is the proof. They're seeing what we're doing, and I think the message is built in to the actions that we're taking. So thank you,
Great.
Juan. Thank you, Mr. Macias. Finance report. Mr. Hernandez.
Real quick, closed session. We'll find a closed session.
No, finance is not closed.
Okay.
Finance
So we're gonna go to,
No, finance first.
finance first, and then we go to closed session.
Okay, we're gonna be shutting off the live stream then. It's really financials.